Hey everybody, welcome to our YouTube channel. Please like, share, and subscribe, and turn on those post notifications for our upcoming videos and episodes. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Now you on?
I'm on.
Here we go. What today is? What today is? What today is? What
It's
today
Red
is?
Line
It's
Thursday.
Red Line Thursday. Ah,
It is Red Line Thursday. Red Line Thursday. Hey, 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 for
Red
the one
Line
time.
Thursday. Red Line Thursday. Hey, Red Line Thursday. We made it another Thursday. What we got for today?
Oh, we got a show for y'all today. Y'all thought it was fireworks on the 4th of July. Oh, no, no, no. It's going
Well, let's
down right now, people.
let's go ahead and get this started. Let's start this show off right.
All right, everybody. Welcome again to the Redline Podcast, hosted by Queen Alexis and myself, Nelly Swag, right here on TalkShoeRadio.com. The doors are now closing. Please take your seat. Hold on tight as the train pulls off from Howard, headed straight to 95th. This might be an express train because we just got a whole lot of stuff to get into today. So, on today's episode, we're going to be talking about something that we're trying to act like doesn't exist, but it does, and it has daily reminders of it all the time. And that's the state of the black woman, and not just American society, but global society as a whole. And we're going to get into it right here on the Red Line. But like we like to do, before we get into the deep conversations and really unpack all of this and, have the intellectual, deep conversations, we must do one thing first. And we're about to do my favorite segment, and I hope yours. So, everybody out there on Spotify, Google Podcasts, TalkShoeRadio.com, wherever you're listening on YouTube, say it with me. Loose
Loose
squares, loose
squares,
squares,
loose squares,
and
and
loud.
loud.
Brought to you
Lord.
by our very own Queen Alexis. So, Queen, as we do every Thursday, what is your loose squares and loud for this Red Line Thursday? Go ahead, tell the people.
Okay, since we on the red line, I want to address this one wonderful, ignorant, trifling thing ever to happen to women on the red line. Fellas, brothers, men, gentlemen, all of y'all. If I am sitting on the train with my headphones and I know I'm looking good, I saw myself up in the mirror when I left out. I purposely put this combination together because I felt cute today. But if you see me on the bus, on the train, sitting by myself with my headphones in, being wonderful and all up in my music, that does not mean you come over and say anything to me ever. And I know some of y'all gonna be like, well, dang, we can't pay a sister a compliment. I'm not saying don't pay us a compliment. Just pay your compliment and keep it moving. How you doing? Wow, you look beautiful today. Thank you. Bless your hearts and your parts and keep going. But now, some of y'all brethren want to sit up there talking about you got a man, you got a husband, you got a friend. Do you want some more friends? Can I have your number? You want my number? Or I know Chanel, you seen this one. Dude sit up, see a foul woman on the bus and everything, sit by her and hand his phone talking about put your number in. Like when the hell do I want you to call me at all?
Oh,
You know,
Lord.
put your number in right quick. No, 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 sir. No, ma'am. No, 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 sir. And then it's always, I just want to be your friend. I'm just looking for some friends. And then when you say no, thank you, for me, Because if you have not noticed on this flyer that we have for this show, that my dear, I am a big girl. And you should have known that when you saw me get on this train car. That when I said, oh, well, thank you, but no thank you, quite nicely, you're going to have the audacity to say, well, that's why ain't nobody want your big ass. Obviously, you do, because I was looking for you in the first damn place. But yeah, so my brothers, my fellas, my men, my gentlemen, lend me your ears. After you pay your compliment, shut the fuck up, okay? Amen. Amen. Bless your hearts and your parts. This is Loose Squares and Loud, verse brought to you by yours truly, Queen Alexis, and I'm done.
Well, that was one for you. So, fellas, FYI, don't talk to her when she's on the train. And please, please, whatever you do, do not, I repeat, do not sit next to us and talk louder thinking we're still not going to ignore you. We don't
We
we don't want that.
we
We just
will.
trying to get to where we're going because we will keep ignoring you. And I have purposely gotten off the train like two stops too early just to avoid it. Like, oh Lord. But hey, that's another conversation. So we about to get right up and into it, get down into the nitty gritty of today's subject. And that's the war on black women. And I know a lot of you are saying, with the war on black women, what are you talking about? There's no war on you guys. Y'all were just making it up in your head. Y'all being extra sensitive and woot the wop. No, no, it's real. So we're gonna start first by talking about black women and the Black Lives Matter movement. So um as all of you know, the past couple of months we are dealing with our movement, our civil rights movement, our Black Panther movement, our civil engagement due to the fact of the killing of Ahmaud Arbery and the killing of George Floyd by the police. But through all of this, Ahmaud Arbery's killers have been arrested and charged. George Floyd's killers have been arrested and charged, who were police officers. But there was also in that span of these police killings that took in the span of the last couple of months, um, Breonna Taylor. It's been over 100 days, and the officers that killed her, only one has been fired, and nobody has been charged. And so, where's the justice for Breonna? She was killed by the police, sleeping, mind you, sleeping in her own bed, was shot 8 times, and her killers have yet to even been all of them be fired, arrested, and charged with anything. And that's sad. So we're gonna get into it. There's a war on black women. We are a double minority in society. We are women and we're black. And we always hold it down. When George Floyd was killed, Ahmaud Arbery, Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice, Oscar Grant, Laquan McDonald, and the list goes on and on. We have stood up in the forefront to make sure since the beginning. When you saw Martin, you saw Coretta. When you saw Malcolm X, you saw Lady Shabazz. You saw
Hmm.
Betty. So they were right there. They were right there. When you saw Nelson, you saw Winnie Mandela. So women, we've been right in the trenches of the movement. But Malcolm X
Hmm.
said that the most disrespected woman in the world is the black woman.
Hmm.
Black female victims are not always believed. Black men will say she was talking smart, popping her neck. And there's no urgency for the black women, whether natural or trans, when it comes to police brutality. We somehow get brushed under the rug. And a lot of the times, the names I've mentioned, Oscar Grant, Trayvon Martin, George Floyd, we all know their names. But let's check these names out. Breonna Taylor, 26, Louisville, Kentucky. Anita Jefferson, 28, Miami, Florida. Aurora Roser, 40, Ann Arbor, Michigan. Michelle Cassant, 50, Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenicia Farnville, 20, Charlotte, North Carolina. Gabrielle Nuves, 22, Sacramento, California. Tanisha Anderson, 37, Cleveland, Ohio. Wakita Boyd, 22, Chicago, Illinois. I just want to know how many of you out there actually know all of those names and know that all of those women were killed by police officers. Every single one of them. And of course, Sandra Bland. They all have been killed by police officers. And we don't get the media coverage. We sometimes don't get the outrage. And in this movement of the Black Lives Matter movement, which were founded by three black women, I would just like to know for
Mm-hmm.
everybody out there, where is the outrage for us as black women? Yes, say her name. Yes, that is out there. But when the list is read of blacks killed by African African Americans killed by police officers, it's always the men. It's always we need to make it a federal hate crime if a black man is killed by a police officer with the intention of hate. But it's the black man that's being protected. But what about the black woman? We're vulnerable. We're not as strong as a black man, and sometimes we're not even as believed. We get killed, we get murdered, we get kidnapped, we get all of those things done to us. And where's the outrage? Where is our outcry? Where is our riots? Not saying that people are not saying it or not doing it, but it shouldn't be over 100 days for Breonna Taylor to get justice. And the fact that the state's attorney in Kentucky is a black man who has yet to act on it, but he is being engaged to a white woman and marrying into a white family.
Mm.
And I'm not saying brothers, you can't like what you like, but you cannot ignore you cannot ignore those things that he is being going to marry a white woman but is not seeking justice for this black woman who has died. And to me it's sad, it's unfortunate, and it is a war on us and nobody is standing up for us. And sometimes we as women speak against one another and we don't even stand up for ourselves, and we're crying for the attention, for the media coverage, for the outrage. And what more do we have to do? Just because it's not seen on camera like it was with Ahmaud, like it was with George, doesn't mean Breonna Taylor's life was not worth being fought for. Does not mean that all of these women were not being worth fought for. So what are we going to do about it as a community? And again, what are we going to do about it as a society?
Right. You're right. I feel like first of all, let's just get this one thing. Well, not get it straight, but just to piggyback on what you're saying, that yeah, it's. I find it interesting that as black women, we go hard for our men. We do. We fight for our men. We don't get that same love, and we've been struggling and trying to trying to survive. Pretty much survive. If it ain't the cops, it's the neighborhood gang members. We rushing and we running. We got to be careful who we date. You know, most of us, yeah. Well, I can't say both. Most of us. Some of us women like them bad boys, and be like, oh, he from the streets. But then come with that is that you running for your life. and you running for your children's life. Because if he get into it with somebody, another dude, they don't come straight after him. They come for us. They come for woman, his baby mama, his wife, his children, and we lose our lives constantly. And every now and then, we become a hashtag. Every now and then, we become a movement, and just like a fad or a trend, here we go. Here we go back into, we just fade away, or we get news that, oh, the family settled, so that's the end of it. There's no justice because the family settled for an amount. Our lives should not still be worth a value of a certain amount from the government, as if we're being sold. Our corpse is being sold now, like off the auction block. Let's just settle and let it be hush hush, and that's it. No, that's not what this for. We need justice. We need justice, the same justice and outcry that we go for our brothers. It should be the same justice and outcry for our sisters, whether cisgender or trans, whether was naturally born a woman or was manufactured a woman. Guess what? Still the same justice is needed. And I'm done.
That is a great point. And another thing, as well as Vanessa Gillians, who are not aware of this case, she was a slain U.S. soldier, disappeared in April. Service members and veterans have stepped forward to demand her justice. She reported a sexual assault and harassment, and a couple of weeks later, she was found kidnapped and dismembered.
Mm,
And this was in Fort Hood. Officials said there was no evidence to support the claim and deny any connection between her and the accusations. But if she's reporting that she's being sexually assaulted by another military service member and then she winds up being killed, um, we have to, suspect anything. And um, it's just a shame that we are not given the benefit of the doubt when things happen to us, like with Sandra Bland. When she was killed, it was no suicide. She was killed by the police for a simple traffic stop. There were
straight up.
black men saying, well, she probably had an attitude, or she was rolling her neck, or she wouldn't comply. The same things that we fight against for you as black men for not being justified about being killed by a cop, you do it to us and say, well, maybe she had that attitude, or she was popping her neck, or rolling her eyes, and maybe she wasn't compliant. So the same privilege that white people sit upon and say of why you as a black man might have got hurt or that arrest was justified, you turn around and use that privilege of being a male against us. And that's sad and unfortunate. And a lot of the times I feel like we as black women don't get the respect, not just of the media, but of our community, to have outrage. Like, it's always, what did she do? Or it's a reason, or maybe this, or maybe no, no, no. If a black woman gets killed by the police officer and there's not a arrest, then it's a problem. And shouts out to all the citizens of Louisville, Kentucky, still protesting, still asking for justice for her. Y'all haven't
Hmm.
arrested the cops who killed her, but y'all wanted to arrest her boyfriend and charge him with attempted murder for taking his legally gun, thinking they was being broken into, and shooting back as his girlfriend was getting bullets whittled into her body. Make it make sense.
Hmm.
So
It don't.
we're finna yes, so we're finna this all ties into something else. Um we are consistently we hear about black women who are missing, black girls who are missing, and we don't get nearly as much of the media coverage when other girls have went missing, when other women have went missing. They're on CNN, they're on Good Morning America. The Amber Alerts be going off on my phone. Beep, 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 all of it. Sound like it's about to be an earthquake. But we when a black woman goes missing, half of us don't even know their name. Like if you go on the website for missing and exploited children and see how many open cases of black girls there are and that you've never even heard of, you will be shocked. Um, and there's black women. There was like a case in Atlanta where there's a whole bunch of black girls and black women who went missing, and the police never followed up on it, and or their turn to, or even with prostitution. If a white woman gets caught into the prostitution ring, then that's sex trafficking. Then we need to help her. We need to get her out. But a black woman who gets with somebody and who is sexually abused or is withheld from her family and friends, oh, she wanted that life. She got with that pimp. She did this. She did that. So black women are not looked to be victims. Even in Chicago, with the Kanika Jenkins case. Oh, she was drunk, or she did fall asleep in the freezer, or what might have you. Like, no, something happened. Somebody set her up. But considering that black women and black girls don't get that type of consideration, we do not, I repeat, we do not have the security of if we get kidnapped that people gonna find us. It's hard for people to even look at our pictures, or they go on that on the girl or the woman's Instagram or Facebook and say, well, maybe she was dressing too provocative, or maybe she was giving out signals, or maybe this, or maybe that, or if a man kills the woman, maybe she provoked him, maybe she led him on, or even with the trans community with trans women, maybe they wasn't outright and forthright about that they were trans. There are trans women who will tell you firsthand when they first start dating a man, they will tell them from the beginning, I am trans. So it wasn't no tricking. It was the fact that the man's ego got hurt, or that they were
Mm.
afraid that their friends are going to find out that they're with the trans woman or in love with the trans woman, or the embarrassment of it, and they wind up getting killed. And they know that the justice system, 9 times out of 10, are not going to fully convict them, or it doesn't matter. They was living such an alternative lifestyle. Anything could have happened to them out there. And to me, that is sad and unfortunate that we can't even be missing. We're getting kidnapped, but we're getting blanked for our own kidnap, our own abuse, our own sex trafficking, everything. And it doesn't make sense at all.
Hell, we still ain't found a diamond in her sister yet, and they've been missing since the 90s.
I remember that case. And what's so crazy about it is, okay, if anybody's familiar, I believe it was a few years ago, there was three white women. I think it was one Hispanic and maybe two white women who were kidnapped by a Hispanic man in Ohio. And they was held captive in that house for years, for over 10 years, if I'm not mistaken. But they
Mm-hmm.
got out and they were found alive. But people never stopped looking for them. Always had hope that it's a possibility that they might be alive, although years and years have passed. Who's to say that didn't happen with these two little girls? Who's to
What's
say
to
that
say?
Who's to say that they're not alive out there? Who's to say that they were kidnapped at such a young age? They could be actually functioning women out here in society who have a job, who have children, but do not know that they own identity.
Mm.
Like, like I believe, um, it was a young black girl who was kidnapped from the hospital, was raised by her kidnapper to believe that was her natural born mother, and She
Mm.
didn't discover that she was kidnapped until she was on until she went on the website when she had to go file for try to get employment, that she needed a birth certificate and a social security card. So it's a possibility that they could still be alive, but the fact that we suddenly believe that, oh, they might be dead or they might not be here anymore, that something happened and we just stopped looking for them. The it's maybe a search for maybe a week, 2 weeks. We stay in the news cycle for maybe a week, if we get lucky, 2 weeks. But white women and white children stay in a news cycle until there's a realization to that case, until they're declared dead, until they're found, until there's somebody in custody, a multitude of things. And to me, we don't get the justice, so we fighting for that justice within the justice system. That we get killed by the police, we get kidnapped, we get sex trafficked, and we are always looked to be the not the victim. Even if a child goes missing, will especially if a black child goes missing, it's looked at the black mother. What didn't she do, or what she's involved in, or who she's dating, or whatever. Like a black child can't just be simply kidnapped because maybe they're cute, but that doesn't register to nobody. Because who would want to kidnap a black girl without a reason?
Mm. The same people that be kidnapping these white kids or Hispanic kids, just snatching them. That's the same reason why ours is getting snatched. Ours is getting our women and our children are being missing, and it's several. It's several. You see about it, you hear about it, word of mouth. It don't get that much of media coverage. It's like in the beginning of the news, such and such is missing. Anyway, on to the next. That's it. Like an afterthought, and yeah. Yeah, it's disheartening to me because I feel like if that was me, if that was my child, I'm looking for my children. I need everybody to look for my daughter, look for my son, look for if I'm missing, I need somebody to keep looking for me and everything. But we get, and I've noticed it, they go for years. That Natalie Holloway chick, that was years. We heard about her case
Yes,
for years. So
yes,
many
we
of
did.
ours get so many of our women and our children go missing, and they get the regular standard 7 days, and that's it. On to the next topic, like, oh well, whatever. And I honestly believe, and I told you this earlier, I honestly believe, as many of us that's going missing, I'm starting to believe, and I've heard it before, that's off of organ harvesting or something, black marketing and everything. Just something gotta change, something gotta break, something gotta change. We gotta have more value in ourselves. And I'm gonna just say it, and y'all feel however y'all feel about it. But I can't sit up here and march in the streets and talk about Black Lives Matter when somebody of another race or a police officer kills one of ours, and we don't say nothing. We don't even have that same unction, that same um, motivation and momentum when we kill ours and we know who it is, and we want to bring justice to our own because our own got killed or our own is missing by people that's our own. Like, for example, we have a Black Lives Matter activist that ended up dead. We just saw her on TV during the riots. She ended up dead by a black man who kidnapped her, sexually assaulted her, and killed her and dismembered her. And he admitted
That is
to it
very
like it
true.
ain't nothing. And his
That is
answer
very
was
true.
his reason was, oh, because she had too much mouth and she kept going off on me and everything, too much attitude. Really? And she was
And
in these streets for a
she
black
was.
man and get killed by a black man. Stop playing.
I will say this. I have to disagree with you on one point. I when we kill one another, or when things happen to us in our community, we know that if Jason shoots Kevin, that Jason is going to go to jail. He's going to go to jail. Whereas if the officer shoots Kevin, it's a possibility that officer might get administrative leave and never go to jail and never face any penalty. And I do know that us as a black community can rally and will rally around when things happen within our community. And yes, we need to get better, and there's layers to it, which we will be discussing and we'll be talking about in these shows, because it's deep. The things that happen, and I just want to say this real quick. If anybody out there who's listening to this podcast and asking why you guys have to go so deep, why you have to talk about these subjects, because we have to talk about these things, because when it's uncomfortable is when we need to talk about it. Me and Alexis will have discussions about these things over the phone, and when we're having these meetings about creating this content, and say yes, we have to go to these places because there aren't platforms who will. And when we need to, because if we don't address what goes on within our community, then nobody is going to address it, and we have to. So yes, we're going to have fun, we're going to make jokes, we're going to have all of those things, we're going to do all of that, but we have to get to the root of these problems and talk about these issues that mainstream media is not going to always talk about. We
Mm-hmm.
have to, because if we don't, nobody else will. So if you don't want to listen, okay, then don't listen. But we have to give our perspective, because the perspective of the black woman is not always being told. Name how many black anchor women you know, and don't just name Robin Roberts on Good Morning America. We have to create a lane and a voice for ourselves. And we need to talk about these things that happen to us, whether it's done by outside sources or it's done within our community. These issues have to and need to be addressed, because there is an issue going on with black women that has been ignored for not just right now, but for decades, for generations, hell, for centuries.
Mm-hmm.
And it's true. And quick side note, when I was talking about what happened with Diamond and her sister, that is a possibility that they could still be alive. The woman who had that discovered was Kamaya Mobley.
Mm-hmm.
And when she discovered down in Jacksonville, Florida, and she was a black girl who was kidnapped, and she was alive for 18 years before she discovered that the one woman who kidnapped her wasn't her mother. So to act like that there aren't children out there who are being kept, and we're just assuming that they're automatically dead, it is not true. But to get on with the get on, oh, I'm gonna have to breathe on this one,
You need to be on
but we're gonna have
timeout
to
for
go
this
here.
next one.
No, no, but we're gonna go with my favorite, the angry black woman, and these comments
Okay.
by Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. So he was on Lil Wayne's Young Money radio about a week ago, I believe, and he made these comments, and I quote: he proceeded to share with why he prefers a certain woman. He said, that shit looks different from the shit you see in the neighborhood all the time. That shit looks like it comes off of a boat, something you just can't get. But they, black women, get angry. How did you end up with this, with a motherfucker like this? Like, and I'm like, my instincts always goes to making me defensive. So I look at it like, look at this angry black motherfucker. Get the fuck out of here trying to F up my whole vibe. End quote. So
I never go in the corner.
no, no, no. I don't need to go in the quarter. I don't. So I looked up the definition of exotic. It says originating in or characteristics of a distant or foreign country. I repeat, exotic means originating or characteristics of a distant or foreign country. Alexis, are you there? I have a question.
Yes,
Is Africa a foreign country?
it surely is from the United States of America. Yes, it is.
And is and it says characteristics. So do black women in America have characteristics of African women in
Let me
features?
let me go check. Yes, the hell we do.
So aren't we the definition of exotic?
Get 'em up.
So let me go in real quick. We're angry because we're not angry because you want to be with somebody of a different background, ethnicity, different country. No. What we're angry about is black women are the only race, species of women to be disrespected by our own men. I never hear Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt talk about white women, that they're this or that they're that. I never hear Mario Lopez or Alex Rodriguez or talk about Hispanic Latinx women down upon. I never hear Asian men talk down about Asian women. But consistently and constantly, black men, whether in your neighborhood or in the spotlight, consistently talks about us and disparage and degrades us in public. And then you say we're angry because what? But the black
Let me
women
jump.
is your most supported. Let me just finish this point. When
Mm-hmm.
50 came out, black women are the ones who made your sales. Black women are the ones who were bumping 21 questions and in the club. Black women are the ones who watched Power. Black women are the ones who support the most. There's always been statistically proven that every rapper, every R&B singer, they like, we got to make a record for the ladies. We got to. They're the one who's gonna consume it. The men, they're only gonna buy it if they lady rocks with it. So we gotta make the records for the ladies. We gotta make sure we get the ladies in here. At the club, ladies gotta be in before 12 because if the ladies are here, then the men gonna pay to get in here. So we are
Mm-hmm.
consistently, we have the most borrowing power, we're the most educated, but we're consistently degraded and talked about and say that we're angry. And quite frankly, I'm sick of it. And Alexis, you should go before I just go there. So please
Chanel, go
speak
on the
while
corner.
I
Go on the
woosah.
corner, Chanel. Go on the corner, Chanel. All right, Chanel, just in the corner, having a timeout. But let's just put it quite plain and simple here. First of all, let me comment on what 50 Cent had to say. Sir, ain't nobody checking for your ugly ass anyway. I'm just saying. They are attracted women are attracted to your money. We've seen your movies, we've seen your face, we even seen your body. And honey, nah, we good. Anyway, the subject of the angry black woman syndrome, or they always angry, always pissed off and everything. Well, when majority, And I'm not gonna say all of them, but majority of the black men that has been in the media, has been in Hollywood, was coming up in their field, in their career field, in their, either if they're a rapper or a singer or a actor, they were supported, held down by a black woman. And as soon as they get a little money, a little change, a little coin, then you want to floss this white woman by your side like we was not in the trenches. No, we're not angry, we're frustrated. Because why would you use us up? Why would you make us be the ride or die chick? And then we get all of the work but never reap the reward. And even if we do it on our own, you call us, oh, y'all too independent, y'all too stubborn, y'all don't need no man. Of course we need you, but this is the thing, we don't need you to become a liability. We don't need you to become another child that we gotta raise and we gotta keep hold it down and take care of and everything. We frustrated. The same love and the same devotion and the same work that we put into y'all, put it back into us. Now, I'm not saying all black men do this, but y'all know who y'all are. And if this show come off looking like, oh, y'all just bashing black men, no, we not. Because it's for the ones who feel that way. Y'all the ones we talking about. Don't sit up here. What do you mean? What is exotic? Exotic, exotic. How exotic you gonna get? And let's be quite honest here. The exotic women that y'all talking about, oh, she exotic, got black in her. So, honey, whether she black and Latino, black and Hispanic, black and Asian, black and Japanese, black and French, black is still the common denominator in that motherfucker. So, if you worried about a certain attitude and a certain submissiveness, because you always got, when you get with the angry black women syndrome, you always hear these brothers talking about black women ain't submissive. We ain't gonna be submissive to anybody that we gotta take care of. How you leading me and I'm taking care of you? We submissive to men that lead. We submissive to men that know their place in the home, and their place is supposed to be the head of the house. You can't say shit to me if I'm paying the bills. If I'm holding down a roof over our head and you on the game, you can't say not a damn thing to me at all,
Amen.
whatsoever. So you
And
want
let's
to
not
submit?
forget that the woman has what they call the Eve gene. So every woman that is out here, we really birthed a nation. Let's just call it what it is.
Dead ass. Anyway, so if you want to sit up here and want me to submit, you cannot. I cannot submit to a child. I am a grown ass woman. I'm gonna submit to a man, and if you are not willing to be in a man's position, you need to shut up. So for us to be angry, we're not angry. We're frustrated. We're tired. We're exhausted. We're agitated. We're irritated with the responsibility of having to carry the world on our shoulders and your ego. And with that being said, I'm gonna go in the corner of my damn self. Donnell, take over.
Uh-huh. So there is nuances to this.
Hold up,
Not just with
hold
what
up,
fit.
hold up. One more thing before I go in the corner with your ugly ass.
So there oh, Alexis, you a mess. But one more thing. It's nuances to this thing. Basically, we as women get disrespected by men, but we love these men. But y'all want something exotic and foreign, and you want the Puerto Rican and Dominicans, but y'all act like Jamaicans and Belize and Caribbean and Saint Vincent's and Nigerian and all of that are not exotic women. Like, they're black women. So get that through your head first. Secondly, We're not upset when you date outside of your waist. No, we upset when you feel like to exalt them, you got to demean us. But then you turn around and get mad at somebody like Serena Williams for marrying a white man, but she dated black men a majority of the time. But she not
And y'all
once
ain't shit.
have dem- she ain't once demeaned the black men she've ever dated to exalt the white man she's with. Not once. And she has said repeatedly, I'm raising a black daughter. She never said I'm raising a mixed daughter. She acknowledges who she is and where she come from. And if y'all forget, Serena from Compton. Don't let the Wimbledons fool you. Her and Venus grew up in Compton, California. So she blacker than
Well,
black. And if y'all remember, she used to play tennis with the beads in her hair. Real black girl stuff. So we consistently get demeaned, or we get talked about, or we our bodies get exploited, and we're good enough to be shaking your butt in your music videos or all of that, but we're not good enough to be with you. And then it gets to, okay, if they are with a black woman, they with a certain type of black woman, they with one with a little bit more straighter hair and lighter skin, and that's a whole nother conversation with colorism. And then and let's not always jump on the black man, although y'all need to be jumped on. We even have black women who fight with other black women who demean us. We're going to get into it on a later show, but if any of you have seen the trailer for Beyonce's Black is King, you are having other black women demean her, saying, oh, it's only because she's light skinned. She's not really black enough to really be telling these stories. But let's just be honest. If it was Lupita telling this, y'all probably wouldn't watch it. Because one, Lupita doesn't have the gravity that Beyonce has. And two, y'all do look down on the darker women. So it's colorism. It's things that go on, and it's infighting within our own communities that has to be addressed and has to be talked about and needs to be understood. And we're going to keep talking about this. This is not the only show that's going to address this subject, because we have a lot that we need to unpack, that we need to heal from, that has been taught to us, that has been brainwashed with us. And men, you don't have to disrespect the black woman to exalt whoever you date. And like Tupac said, since we all came from a woman, got a name from a woman, and I came from a woman, why is it that we hate our women? Why we rape our women? Do we hate our women?
come on.
And then we'll have a race of babies that will hate the ladies that make the babies.
Yep.
So in turn, get it? Yes, 50 Cent's mother tragically got killed when he was younger. So he might have a strained relationship with the black woman. But he is too wealthy and around too many people. And some of y'all accept his clown behavior and say that we're being too sensitive, or oh, he's proving his point by you proving that you're angry. No, we're just tired of being disrespected. We always extend the olive branch. We always allow you to seek healing, and we'll allow you to be forgiven. But us as black women, we're not extended that courtesy. We can't be emotional. Either we're too strong and too independent, or we're gold diggers, or we're lazy, or we're this, or we're that, or we're overbearing mothers, or we're not mothering enough. It's like, what is black? We're tired. We're tired. We birthed a whole nation.
What
And
else you want from us?
and I just want to bring up this because it's near and dear to me. And and it's important that we as a nation and as a people talk about this. So, um, black women are 3 to 4 times more likely than white women to die from pregnancy related causes in the nation. Black babies are more than twice as likely as white babies to die before their first birthday. Black women are 3 times more likely to die during childbirth, up to 50% more likely to give birth prematurely. More than two-thirds of maternal deaths are preventable. So, black women in child care and health care, and our mortality rate for going into a hospital and birthing our baby, we don't get the consideration because we were operated on without anesthesia. Things were done to us when we were younger because it was believed back then that okay, black women don't feel and black people don't feel pain as much as white women, so we're not given as much of the medication. When something is wrong with our bodies, when we go to the hospital, we're not taking it seriously. There's no way that a black woman should go and deliver her baby, have complications, and die from them while in the hospital. But white women don't. There is no way that our mortality rate is. We not only have the fear and the anxiety of birthing a baby, that we have to have the fear and anxiety that these doctors are going to take my pain seriously. It's been stated on many occasions. Serena Williams said she was dealing with blood clot issues and she knew her body. But even the doctors there said, maybe, I don't know. But we're always lit to be so strong and we don't feel no pain and we take on so much that we die from giving childbirth because we're not believed by medical professionals, because it's been said that black women don't believe that we extravagant in our pain, that oh, it's really not that painful, so we get half of the medication but get the full insurance bill and the full copay.
I'm sorry,
That has
Charnel.
to
I,
stop.
it does. But Charnel, I don't know about you. Well, I know about you. Both of us are mothers. Chanel, did you go through labor?
Yes, I did.
Mm-hmm. Didn't that shit hurt like a motherfucker?
Sure did.
So how are you gonna tell me that we exaggerate our labor pains? That we all black people, black women don't feel pain. Yes, we do. I'm sorry. I have 2 children. And I know women that have more than me. And I know women that went in and went and hell shit. My mama gave birth to both me and my brother without any epidural. Because she was supposed, in order to get that you were supposed to get have a certain health insurance to get that. Oh, like if we don't have the right health insurance, that our pain don't matter, baby. No. Or we sit up in the hospital waiting forever in labor or in pain. But hey, they're gonna be alright. They're gonna be alright. Oh,
And it's
she'll be alright.
happened. Women have died in the emergency room saying, we need to see somebody. I have this pain. I have what's going on. But it's not taken seriously enough. And then they die when this could have been prevented. Like medical professionals, if you're a nurse or RN, a doctor, whoever, you need to take black women seriously. We're not playing. It is serious out here. So, in this show, we have discussed us being ignored by killing by the police, us going missing, being sex trafficked, our men not defending us and claiming that we're not exotic and not worthy enough for their love, as well as the infighting that goes on from woman to woman, as well as dealing with what goes on in medicine and with our health. So if black women are quote unquote so angry, aren't we justified?
In a mug.
Aren't
We're
we
very
justified? And we haven't even got into what it's like to work in corporate America. And they say in order for your career to advance, you got to sleep with somebody or be sexually assaulted, or you have to, or you're not believed, or you castrated, like you did something wrong when you address sexual assault and say that this person did it to you, or we're claiming to be lying, or we're not telling the truth, or she probably really wanted it, or she shouldn't have dressed like that, or so on and so forth. So it's just, to me, it's so much that goes into it. It's so much that we have to deal with, so much that we have to unpack, so much that we have to overcome and continuously overcome, day by day, month by month, year by year, decade by decade. And it just has to stop. Like, we have to come to black men. You have to come to our defense. We need you. If we always at the front line, bootstrapped up, ready to go for you, you need to protect us. There's no way that black women should go missing in our neighborhoods, that black children should be killed, that black mothers have to cry. You should be like, no, no more. We need you. We as much as there are some black women who say we don't need a man, yes we do. We need you. We want you, but you have to need and want us and stand up for us. And don't get me wrong, there are plenty of black men who date outside of their waist and never demean a black woman. But then there are you black men who demean us and act like we're ugly, or we're not worthy, or we're not submissive enough. And let me just get to this point. We will be submissive. We will give you everything you need and you want, but just respect us.
That's all.
Respect us. Give us love. Give us encouragement. If we're encouraging and investing into your gifts and your dreams, and we're down with you when you didn't have nothing, when it's our turn, when we got to go to school, when we're trying to start the business, when we're raising the children, when we're in the home, give us our credit. Give us what we need to be encouraged. And we would do the same for you. You can't expect women to keep giving and you keep taking and you don't replenish. A car can only run if it has fuel, but the more you
Mm-hmm.
run the car, it's gonna go on fumes, and eventually the engine will go out. And
Mm-hmm.
you gotta gas us up, fellas. You gotta gas us up, because right now black women, we're running on fumes and we tired. And then our engine is gonna go out. So black men, if black women are being kidnapped, raped, murdered, and not taken seriously, and we're not there to defend you and fight for you, then who's gonna fight for you?
Who? Who gonna fight for y'all but us?
Exactly. But today's show was a lot to unpack. We got more subjects to come, and we got a lot more that we need to talk about. So, as we pull into the 95th Street station, please grab all your belongings and exit. This is as far as this train will go. As you head up the stairs, elevator, and escalator and head to your next destination, we want to thank you for riding the red line with us. Please come back next Thursday and every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on TalkShoeRadio.com. Our number again is 717-734-6904. Show ID 5'11", 6519 pound. Please call. Continue to listen. You can also check out our YouTube page, the Redline Podcast. Please like, share, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications for all upcoming videos and episodes. Also, we are on Google Podcasts as well as Spotify. And don't forget to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell some more friends to like and follow our Facebook page for all upcoming events and show topics. Also, if you're interested in promoting your event or business or any other business inquiries, please email us at redlinepodcast2020 at gmail.com. I want to thank all of you for who have subscribed to our YouTube channel, who is watching, the impressions, the shares, the likes, the comments. You are so appreciated. Please subscribe. Please turn on those post notifications because we got a lot coming. Please follow us on Spotify. Please listen to us on Google Podcasts. And please continue to download right here on TalkShoeRadio.com because the support is so necessary and we appreciate every single one of you. You can follow me on Twitter at NellySwag09. Follow me on Instagram at NellySwag09. Please like my Facebook page, my fan page, NellySwag09. And if you want to be my friend, be all personal with me on Facebook, you can send me a friend request to my personal page. It's Charnel Nelly Logan on Facebook. And listen up for all content. Like again, please like our Facebook page. Please follow us on Facebook, and continue to support the show every Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on TalkShoeRadio.com, as well as Spotify, Google Podcasts, and YouTube. And Queen Alexis, where can they find you, follow you, listen to you, and all of that good stuff?
Y'all can find me everywhere in your pocket, on your phone, in the computer, in the sky. Now I'm playing. I am on here on Talk Shoe Radio 3 times a week. Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock. I am the host of Madam Queen's Court Open Mic, where all of our poets, our singers, our rappers, or if you just got shit to say and want to vent, you can come on and just share your hearts and your parts. Well, not so much your parts. Also, you can find me back here on Thursdays with my girl Nelly Swag and the Redline Podcast. The number for the Madam Queen's Court Open mic is 717-734-6904. Show ID 2864394#. You will find me here on the Redline Podcast with my girl Nelly Swag. And you can also find me back here on Saturday nights at 8 o'clock with the Mad Hatter. To this Saturday, we'll be talking about the Superwoman complex, and that's for all of my sisters, white, black, Hispanic, Asian, that think you could do this on your own. I don't need a man. I'm as independent. All of that. We're gonna be talking about that on this Saturday. Tune in and call in at 717-734-6904. The show ID for that is 991-5968#. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, Facebook and Instagram. Facebook, my fan page, Queen Alexis. My personal page, Alexis Sherelle Owens. You can find me on Instagram at Queen underscore Alexis 1990. You like our pages. We got our pages on Facebook, the Madam Queen's Core Open Mic, the Redline Podcast, and the Mad Hatter Show has a fan page. Please, please, please go on there, like and share, and keep up and stay tuned with all of our upcoming shows. We're going to be talking about some serious stuff. This is going to be one hell of a hot summer for y'all, not only for the weather, but for these topics. So, y'all can find me there, and y'all just keep coming back and doing y'all and participating. We love it. We love the support. We love the shares. We love the subscriptions. We love it, and keep it going. Like Charnel said, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell your friend, tell your mama, your auntie, and your cousin too about
Yes,
these platforms
the whole
and
family, the whole
all
family,
of them.
the whole
Tay Tay too,
family.
Pookie
E-
and them,
even
all of
e-
them.
e- even the daddy you thought was your daddy but not your daddy. Yeah, tell him
But your
to.
sister daddy, tell him too. But that's
Yeah,
all. That's where
but
you can find me.
yeah, and again, y'all please go listen back to the Mad Hatter from this past Saturday, cause ooh,
Woo,
that show right there, that show right there was a
woo, shit.
yeah. Anyways, but we like Queen Alexa said, we have some more great content coming for you guys soon. Thank you again. This is show number 8. Show number
Oh,
8. We gonna keep going. We gonna keep doing it. 2 more shows until we in this thing like a decade. So keep supporting, keep encouraging, keep doing what you're doing. So thank you again for riding the red line on this what? Red line
Red line
Thursday. Red
Thursday.
line
Red
Thursday.
line
Red
Thursday.
line
Red line
Thursday.
Thursday. Ow. And
So
we
yeah,
are
out of here. We gone. Love y'all. Peace and blessings. Keep supporting and
one.
keep riding the red line.
Yep.
Later.